I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where I break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. And today we're doing Arsenal against Aston Villa, and there's lots of interesting things I'm going to show you throughout this game. As I think Arsenal, because they were my tip to Arsenal, you're letting me down. What you doing? They're my tip to win the league this year, and yeah, they're just bottling it. It's very hard, okay, to push on and win. Year in, year out, and they're finding that they haven't been in the sort of the title race every year like Liverpool were, chasing down Man City and always not quite getting over the edge, but they're used to that push and grind throughout the whole club, and that's what Arsenal need to do for a couple more years, because winning the Premier League is not easy. It's not this, oh, we finished second last year, now we're going to win it the year after. You have to upgrade your squad. You have to get the drive, and the reason you upgrade your squad isn't because, oh, we need better players. It's because you need to keep the hunger inside of the squad going and moving forward, and those players that were working hard last year need to keep at that same tempo. And you do drop off. I don't care what line of profession you're in. I don't care if it's football or, whatever. When you're trying to be successful, you need to keep pushing yourself, and the best way to get yourself to push yourself is for other people to push you around you. The competitive nature kicking, go, well, he's doing really well, I've got to work harder because he's doing well and he's going to take my spot. If that person isn't taking your spot, you get complacent, and you do get complacent over time. Doesn't care what environment you're in. But I want to show you and highlight why I think Odegaard's such a good player here before we get onto the goals. We're going to watch this pass. It's going to go down. You can see the run. It's going down here into this space. You can see they're exploiting Villa. Villa's got caught out all over, overloading on the one side. Which, by the way, there's a thing. If you're new here and you haven't really understand, I'm starting to do more coaching sessions on Mondays where I'm actually explaining all of this stuff over time. And this will be in one of my sessions in the next couple of months, of why you group up and push all your players on one side and you kind of leave yourself exposed on the other. Well, it's because the ball's on this side and you want to put more pressure on. But when you do this, you cause yourself some problems. You really do. And I used to play, when I was coaching teams that would do this, I would just batter, because we'd just switch it to the player over here. As soon as they run over, we'd put it back, and these players would be knacking in 20 minutes. We'd kill them. Absolutely kill him. But we're talking about Odegaard, and that's what we're here to do. And I want you to watch this space unfold, okay? So as this ball goes there, boom, you can see, boom, the space, he sees it straight away. This is why I like him. He's not hesitating. He already knows. Look at that. He's already making the run. Everyone is going back. Nobody is tracking him. No one's understanding. Arsenal don't score here. They get a shot. The keeper saves it, bounces off the post and does whatever. But I just want you to watch this run. This is fantastic. He goes straight into the space and he's completely and utterly unmarked. Watch this. As we roll it forward, look at the space he makes, just because he's aware of everyone running back, going back towards the goal, and he's absolutely completely free. Love it. Quality midfielder, understanding the zones, understanding the space, understanding the defenders are going back, even though nothing comes of this move except for a little attempt on goal. Bob goes across, header, save, whatever. But the fact that I was looking for that pullback there when there's real time, oh, he's just going to put it back to him, left foot, straight in. No, didn't do it. I just wanted to highlight that run where you see everybody else is running back towards the goal and he's running away from it into the space. Really good. Just had to highlight that because I like him. All right, let's move it on. I'm completely wrong with what happens next. That's normal because, I don't really get too far into the highlights. This isn't a scripted show where I pay lots of attention and write little notes. I just go as I see it. Yeah, this is the goal that goes over the line. I can remember actually watching it and not thinking it was in. But, yeah, it does go in. Here's not a bad finish. It's not a bad save. He just gets unlucky. It's just too close to the line. It bounces off the keeper and goes in. The ball, let's just show it over the line. That's the frame we're looking for. You can see it's in. It's a goal. Let's move on. This is the next goal. Not much to talk about here because it's just a good goal, really. It's very rare we just get good goals in the Premier League when the defenders are making mistakes. But they just score because it's good play. Okay, so what we're looking at here is a 1v1 situation. And what we're looking at is what have we got in the box? Look, that is not marking. That is just shocking. I know it's Kai Havertz and he's not very good at the football, but you still got to mark him in the box because he might get lucky. And he does get a little bit lucky here on the volley. It's due to the quality of Trossard's cross, really. You can see Trossard's looking at where he wants the ball to go. You can see that there's players in the box. And when he gets down here into a crossing opportunity, down here, let's move it forward. You can see right there, look at the actual space he's got. Now remember, the space is this gap here. That means he can get his shot off with no pressure from anywhere else. Now this guy's kind of doing the right thing because he's thinking that it's going to come low hard across the box. He's there to defend it. You, on the other hand, are nowhere near him here. You cannot challenge him if the ball comes in as a cross. And this is one of the other things that happens in the Premier League, is because not many people are really like firing crosses in, to try to head the ball in the goal anymore. Central defenders don't do this. Central defenders aren't marked man, tight to the man inside of the box all of the time anymore, because, well, that isn't the goal scoring opportunities that they're trying to stop. It's all these little cutbacks from here into the half spaces and all this other nonsense, and not just a good old-fashioned cross and a finish. And this is a good old-fashioned cross and a finish. Now, the cross is very important as well, because where he puts the cross is in a situation right here where nobody could challenge him because they're too far away. If they're touch tight, they might be able to touch the ball. But because the quality of the delivery, it would be very hard if you're not really right next to him, because you can't get your leg around, you can't get close enough to where the ball is delivered. I'm going to show you this, see if I can stop it as it goes forward. Boom. Right, do we see it there? It's on this side of him, on the volley. You can see he's trying to stretch and stop it, but he can't because he's not close enough. And all he's got to do is make sure he hits the target, and hitting the target he does. Gets himself a goal. Does he? Keeper? Oh no. Keeper saves it again, but it goes in again. Yeah, the keeper, I don't know. This keeper's, I rate him. I think he's better than people think, He seems to touch and get hold of everything. But let's move it on, because we've got lots to do today. Lots of games to cover. This goal from the Villa, I hate the Villa. There's a long story behind that. One of my mates, DC, used to play for Wolverhampton Wanderers. And in through their academy, they picked up Des Walker instead of him. DC was quicker than Des Walker back in the day as well, but he's a Villa fan, and we used to have huge rivalries. But right, so in the same instance we just watched, when the quality cross came in and someone got onto the ball, this is a different scenario where the defender is actually tracking properly. But when I show you the reverse angle, you're going to see the difference in desire from Tielemans to actually get on the end of the pass, which is fantastic. Just putting the ball in. So you can see the spaces here, right? This is where the line is. This is a fantastic ball. Because the line's on the 18-yard box, it enables the ball to be put into the space. That is an arrow, by the way. That was an arrow. Yeah, definitely an arrow. Into this space, so they can attack into this space and go towards the goal. Brilliant. Put in early. One of my old coaching mates, he would never, ever let his team do anything but just whip the ball into the box early, because he would always say, well, the defenders are facing their goal. You're facing their goal. If anyone touches it, it goes in their goal. Unfortunately, that's about all he ever coached. Didn't really do anything else. So when this ball comes in, boom, in it goes. It's desire. You can see the defender is right there, but Tielemans has got more desire, and he gets the right part of his body on the ball. Now, this is important. I also think that this ball was a little bit, it's what I call that awkward height, where you can't really raise your foot up enough to get to the ball, but you can't really chest it because it's not too high. Yeah, it's just an awkward height. And going down with your head and doing that is the best way to get control on it, and he does. I want to show you from the reverse angle, because this is a really quality goal in my opinion. And you can see how close he is to Tielemans. Look, this is actual proper marking, but he's making the wrong decision, selecting the wrong part of the body to actually hit the ball with. And also, if you're watching, thinking of it like a sprinter's point of view, he is sprinting forwards, right? And he is leaning backwards. So he's not going to get to the ball before the guy that's leaning forwards, right? We know that, because that's how things work. If I'm leaning forward, I'm going to get to his body weight's leaning back. So as he's going, can I stop this? There we go. The point of impact. Look at how fine that margin is before he gets his foot to it and the head on the ball. Yeah, it's just, defender can't get any closer. He can't. Like it's yeah. There's not much you can do. Again, sometimes when good goals are scored, it's just a good goal, and that's a good goal. Let's move it on. Okay, so this is just a simple little 2v2 out wide here, but this is really interesting because look at the space in midfield where no Arsenal player is. Now, why this is important is because standard practice in the Premier League is, we're going to play down here, come down here, try to cut it back here, go here, try to score a goal. Or we're going to come down here, try to come to here, try to have a shot, right? That's generally the passing patterns that they try to use. When someone changes all of that, cuts in inside and drifts in across, there's nobody here to pressure the ball. So look, he fakes these two players out over here, cuts the ball in, and now you're looking, there's nobody here because he wasn't actually defending the ball. He was defending the space and the 2v2 here. He wasn't actually trying to get closer to win the football, which a lot of players don't, which I will be explaining again this Monday in one of my training sessions, why players don't actually close the ball down properly, why they don't do it, and why 50% of goals are scored from the top 5 leagues from players not pressuring the ball properly. It's going to get higher. The percentage is going to go up as the years go on, and people are going to get more and more frustrated when they watch football because of it. Now, watch here. I want you to see the reaction of this guy after the goal scored, because he knows he's at fault. Look, 1v1, 1v1, everyone's marking, kind of, but he's not, right? There's 2 Villa players that are actually free here in this scenario. Let me just highlight the 2 Villa players. We've got one here, and we've got one here. These are actually free, because he's not marking him. Standing next to him isn't marking him. He's marking. Even though he's too far away, in my opinion. He needs to be, well, not my opinion, he is too far away. He needs to be closer. He's marking those 2 there. But when this cross comes across, we look at it, right, start the movement. Do you see they start to go back? Arsenal are starting to run out, but watch. This is the key point. Watch. He starts to move this way, but all of the Villa players on the back post are starting to sneak in. Remember, they're onside, clearly onside. As this ball comes across, see his reaction. He's still going out and they're running in. That's the difference. He's just out of sync with the play. He's out of phase. He's gone one way. Player he should have been marking has gone the other way. It's completely and utterly free on the back post. Now it's a case is the delivery good enough to beat these players? And is he good enough to finish it? Well, the answer is yeah. Should the keeper save it? No, not. If you're taking a volley at the 6-yard box, right, on the 6-yard box, if the keeper's saving it, you're like an Alisson or an Edison, one of the best 2 keepers in the world. Ray is okay, but he's not up in that standard. He's just not. As much as people want to rant and rave, he's just not. Ball comes in, bomb, back of the net. There he is, miles away. There's actually those 2 Villa players I'm talking about are the 2 closest to the ball, and not an Arsenal player to be seen. Lots of problems there at the back. But let's move it on just a little bit, because Arsenal could have won this at the death. I'll see if I can find something else to show you about their why they're not scoring here right at the final whistle. I knew there was something else I was going to talk about. The old Kai Havertz handball. Here we go. Right. So remember Cash's rules. Is the shot on target? That's what you got to think about. Is it on target? Yes, it's on target. Does hitting the hand deflect the ball away from the target into the goal? Yeah, it does. So it's a handball. It's on target. There it is. Striking the hand, changes the trajectory of the ball, and it's a handball. Yeah, that's a bit of unluckiness there, really, from Arsenal. And I think it's like there's not many times a striker gets in the way, and it's a handball. It's just not. And it's one of those things, like if you're a Kai Havertz fan, you're not going to say this, but if you're not in that hate train, I don't know why he's got such a hate train on him, but he does, about being up front. Well, he's not a striker. He's not a natural striker, so he wouldn't have been in that position. And he's done it right. There's so much hate on this guy just because he's trying to score Arsenal goals. I don't know why the Arsenal fan base don't support their own players. I think it's insane that they just like jump on the backs of people all the time. They need to get behind their team, and maybe that's some of the reason why they end up not having belief in their own team, especially at home. But there was also another little point I was going to make, is how hard Villa, let me just back this up, because even though they got this shot off, I want to show you something about Villa that were making it very hard. And the intensity of Villa picked up really did, and that's one of the main reasons why Arsenal couldn't really break them down, because they don't have that extra little bit of quality on the bench that they can bring on and go, right, here we go, we need to do this now and we can change it. The squad just isn't quite deep enough, and that's why I come down to they needed recruitments. Well, they needed a bloody striker, we all know that. But watch the Villa players react to this second ball here. This is the key moment. The ball starts to come down, boom, look, what, and they all start moving at pace to put pressure at the ball, which it's a difficult thing when you're trying to get that equalizer, that winning goal, and the other team has now stepped up their intensity, and that little bit of space that they weren't really pressuring the ball that hard and trying to win the ball that quickly back. Now they suddenly are. Everything you're doing has to be more and more at tempo, and they just can't move the ball around quick enough without the pace of Saka on the wing and the creativity. They're all just kind of taking shots from outside the box instead. Look there, yeah. It's pretty interesting the way that Villa, Unai Emery, always seems to give Arsenal a hard time. Other than that, lots of interesting games to catch up to on this weekend, and I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.